The ultimate thing is really that we would not be treating depression, that we would have cured it. I'm Zulmar Ali. I'm the president and CEO of the University of Ottawa Institute of Mental Health Research, which is the research arm of the Royal. Amongst mental illnesses, I think depression is probably the most widely occurring illness. The objective of creating a depression research center is to create an environment whereby a patient can be assessed on a personal level and to develop methodology for treating his or her condition so that they get into remission faster and remain in remission for a long period of time. Depression is unlike other conditions. Depression right now is a syndrome that is diagnosed based on what the patient tells you what his or her symptoms are. And in effect, by using that methodology, we call DSM-4 is the diagnostic tool that we use. We can have two individuals with no symptom overlap at all be diagnosed with the same condition. And then we begin to treat them essentially as if they're all the same. We're trying to bring brain imaging here, and the reason we want to do that is we can actually look inside the living brain for the very first time in a very detailed way. And unlike cancer, we can't do a breast biopsy or anything like that. We need to be able to look into the brain that's functioning, and we're not using those tools. We need to be able to see how is the brain functioning differently, and if it is, can we identify those brain circuits that are malfunctioning? And then can we specifically direct our treatment to those malfunctioning circuits? So this is very, very new technology. It is going to be the defining technology for determining the best possible treatment for that individual. For example, even today, by looking at your brain scan, we can tell you, A, whether you're depressed, B, what is the best treatment for you. Is it drug therapy? Is it psychotherapy? Is it a combination of two? So using these tools, we can figure out a lot and also be able to track whether an individual is responding to drugs. Rather than waiting 4 weeks to see whether anything happens, we can see whether your brain responses are changing already, and if they are, it's a good sign, and we would continue with the treatment. If you're not responding, then let's, by all means, switch your drug very quickly, not to wait for weeks and months. The objective would be that we would develop depression centers all across the country so that the treatment approaches that we standardize as a shared experience through this whole collective across Canada, all the researchers and clinicians pooling information so that we come out with the best practices. And these would be then disseminated through those research centers across the country so that somebody who's getting their depression treated in Ottawa would probably be the same as the one that's being treated in Vancouver for the same kind of a patient. So that's the dream, to provide services as close to home as possible and in as standardized a way as possible. I'm happy to say that the Government of Canada has recognized the importance of such an approach here and has recently, in the last federal budget, given us seed money to establish such a network in Canada.